We're wearing the same joggers.
Yeah, but you can't see them.
Yeah, no one knows.
No, but I know. I'm just like,
It's okay.
I noticed that earlier, but I was like, well, no one's gonna see them.
no.
Also, this was lowered. I don't know why. So I raised
Lowered?
it up.
Really?
Yeah. But it must have been that way for a couple weeks now, because I was like wondering why it was like
Every time I think maybe I should lower mine a bit, I'm like, no.
No, well, it's
No,
I
no,
try.
because
I
I'm
was
sitting
like-
up
I
enough.
was
I'm
like
always trying to
hunching
find the
over.
balance of like not
Yeah.
blocking my face too much, but
Yep,
still
but
picking
then,
me up
like,
good.
still- yeah.
So you can like kind of do this, but then instead of, like do this.
Yeah.
This.
You like
this
swirl when you're back and forth talking to people.
That'll be
I
the.
know.
This will be the opening. This. I feel like
You're gonna get clipped, and then
first place. Never heard of him.
Yeah, you're gonna get... If I just had a pimple, it would
Would have
have
won.
won.
Welcome back to Screen Time. I'm your host, Josh Youngbar, and I have my co-host with me, Lucas
it's a pleasure to be here.
and Jared.
It's good to be here.
All right. And on today's episode, we are going to
Workshopping
cover.
it. Sorry.
What'd you say?
I said I'm workshopping it.
Workshopping.
Yeah.
All
Well,
right, all
I
right.
just went to my Chick-fil-A roots, so you know.
It's a pleasure.
It's my pleasure.
Yeah. So on today's episode, we are going to cover the live action One Piece episodes 3 and 4.
Mhm.
But before we do that, we are going to get into a little bit about what we've been watching in the last week. And we normally kick it off with the anime corner.
All right, this is Lucas, and welcome back to the Anime Corner. So, the Eminence of Shadow Season 2 is continuing to go strong. We had a good episode of complete setup for something that seems to be really big. And then Spy Family Season 2 still going strong, got great funny moments. It's always a good laugh. And then I saw, and I haven't watched yet, but I feel like it was like 2-3 years ago. Maybe it was sooner than that. But there was an anime called The Saints' Omnipotent Power. And that first season was pretty good. I remember watching it. And I was like, oh, that was a good anime. Like, it was good to watch. Well, the second season just started airing, and I haven't watched the first episode. But there's a little recommendation. And then also second season. So, yeah, that's what I've been looking at.
Are you up on Jujutsu Kaisen?
Not completely caught up.
Okay.
But yeah, that's another good one. I
Yeah.
haven't been watching that one. I haven't had time.
I haven't. I'm still in the first season of that, but I want to get further in it now also because I just heard that they changed the theme song like 4 different times, and the first theme song is so sick. It's one of my favorites. But then I heard they changed it like a couple of times a season apparently.
Yeah, animes do that.
Okay.
They normally change it with each story arc.
Oh, okay.
So
that
every
makes
time the
sense.
story arc changes, there's a new intro. Normally also a new outro, but not every anime does a
Well,
different outro.
The one I'm thinking of is the first one.
Yeah, the first one's great.
Yeah.
The whole first season of Jujutsu Kaisen's really good. And then the first 5 episodes of the second season are good. I think that's
Okay.
how many I've seen. So,
Sweet.
which
Cool.
the first 4 episodes, or maybe it is the first 5 episodes of Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2 is completely backstory to the first season. It's all about the teacher, Gojo,
okay.
the white-haired guy. with the-
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know if you've seen his eyes yet, but
I don't remember.
his eyes are about just as blue as this.
Okay.
It's just like...
That's definitely anime.
But yeah, no. That's all I've got.
Okay.
Cool.
Let's see, what have you been watching?
Watched a few things.
Yeah?
Yeah. So still, Lego Masters season 4 going strong.
I still need to start that.
Every week, Lucas is like, I need to watch it.
That's time to watch it. No.
Started Lessons of Chemistry. I know you mentioned that. We only watched the first episode, but really liking it so far. It's got a really, just good period type setting, and just it seems good setup so far.
Well, one thing about that though, because I've watched basically as much as you have.
Yeah.
But one thing I'm kind of worried about, because I heard it goes very off the rails, and I'm like, oh no. So I don't know what that means. But it's based on a book, so
Yeah.
how could it really?
As long as, unless
maybe
they
it's just the way they
unless,
do it?
unless they deviate from the book.
Sure, that's true. Yeah, I guess.
I did see that they've been putting out recipes to go along.
Yeah, that's cool.
Lasagna recipe, which
Mhm.
I sent to Robin, and then she consequently made a different lasagna for
Mm.
dinner,
True.
which was also really good because it was like
Yeah.
the white chicken lasagna.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what triggered it because I sent her the lasagna recipe
That's
from
what it
the
was.
TV show, and then she was like, "Yeah,
I-
but instead of making this one, I'm gonna make."
I saw that on YouTube. Oh, yeah, it was on Apple's YouTube, right?
Yeah,
They put it out. I saw that lasagna looks awesome that
Yeah.
they did on that. Yeah, and it's cool. They do it in like a 50s way, right? They do like the whole aesthetic with
yeah,
it.
and then and it's all like science, but chemistry based,
Right.
to make it
And
optimal.
also, I keep saying 50s, but isn't it? It might be early 60s
I'm
or
not
late
sure.
50s.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure because I don't even think they say the actual exact time in the show.
Yeah.
But that's just what I'm guessing off of the style. But
Yep. Watched a few episodes of Upload season 3.
ooh, okay. I was going to mention this, but I didn't have it down my notes. So go ahead.
Did you watch any of it?
No, because I'm a little bit behind on the last season, but I'm trying to, because I saw the new season came out. I'm trying to catch up because
Well,
it's a cool show.
It's a cool show, but season 3 has not been great. It's not terrible, but it's kind of, well, I'll just put it this way. You can tell they were like, hey, you want to make a season 3, but we're going to give you like a quarter of the budget.
Oh,
Because
That's
it
never
just
good.
doesn't look as like, yeah, just looks a little cheap. It's, yeah.
but like, why isn't it Amazon?
it's Amazon.
Like, why are they
Yep.
cutting their?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe
Budget.
they were like, if you want to do another season, this is all you got. I don't know.
Oh, so they were probably planning on canceling it anyway, but then they're like, oh, let's
Maybe.
see one more season. I'm like, okay, but you're gonna.
Yeah,
less
maybe.
budget.
You know, or based on how many people watch. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just, I don't know. And it's just not as much fun, and like the humor. I don't know. It's just not as. I don't know. I haven't looked into it to see, but maybe it might even change writer, showrunner, like those things behind the scenes. I don't know.
That sucks because that first season especially was really
Yes,
funny.
the first
and
season was
good.
really good. Yeah. Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
All right.
Watched a couple. I think the first 3 episodes of Gen V. I know you watched some of
Nice.
that.
We watched all of it now.
Oh, you've watched all of it now?
Yep.
I know it got picked up for season 2 already.
Mhm.
But I really enjoyed it so far. It's exactly what I think Claudia mentioned a few weeks back. It's that it's in that world, but then put in like a high school college drama setting. So it's right up my
That's why
alley.
it's called Gen V. Yeah. Yep. Yeah,
But it's it's fun. It's pretty good. Yeah.
it is. Yeah, and it's pretty. Yeah, it's good even later. Like the only thing I'm not sure about is how they're going to end this first season because we have 2 more. I want to say.
Hmm.
I think it's 8 episodes total, and there's 6 out so far. I'm
Yeah.
not sure how they're going to do this and how they're going to bring it forward to connect. Because I imagine they're going to try to connect it more with everything going on in The Boys, or maybe even connect it to the next
Well,
season of The Boys.
Maybe, but it's a jump in time, right? Because the one guy is what's his name's son, right?
Which guy?
The black kid.
Okay.
Like, isn't he the guy that was really fast? His son. That's in The Boys?
No.
'Cause he's like-
A-Train? No.
Yeah, because he's like because you remember he pulls the thing out of his dad's like metal statue.
Okay. I remember that scene, but
He's like, your dad has it,
dang. Okay.
and then
I thought his dad was someone else.
And then his actor, well, there's an actor playing his dad,
Right.
but it's just supposed to be the older version of A-Train, I think. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, is that okay? That was not explained well.
I
then,
know.
'cause
I agree with
I
you.
thought
It's
it was
not,
a different.
I agree with you. It's not clear.
Yeah, that's why I thought it was
But-
someone different. I
but
didn't
I-
know it was supposed to be A-Train.
But I think so.
That's weird. Okay.
So I think this is supposed to be future
Okay.
enough time that it wouldn't unless they jumped ahead of that as well and The Boys. But
Yeah. Also, I want to say because I like a lot of the characters in it.
Mhm. Really, I mean, I like the even the concept, like the mini girl, like, and just
I was gonna
like
say she's my favorite.
The way it works, and
Yeah.
like, you're like,
She's my
that's so
favorite. I was
crazy.
trying to remember her name in the show because
Yeah.
that's
I don't remember.
I'm not good with the names in the
Yeah,
show.
yeah,
in
yeah,
the
I'm not
show
good
though.
Yeah.
But it is cool though. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
And also, I will tease that so episode 6, which is the last one that came out, Probably the coolest one of the season.
All right.
It's all in like I'll just say kind of a different reality, which is really
Okay.
cool how they do it. And there's actually a pretty cool cameo in it too that I was excited about from the boys. So
Oh, okay. That's cool.
I'm hoping they'll do more of that kind of
So
thing.
maybe maybe I can get caught up enough that by the time the last episode comes out, we'll both have watched it
Yeah.
and we can kind of discuss a little bit.
Tonight will be episode 7. So then by next,
So that in 2 weeks we
Mhm.
could talk about
Yeah,
it
for sure.
on the pod. And then last but not least, a movie called Old Dads on Netflix.
Oh, right. Okay. I didn't realize. So when you were mentioning this, I didn't realize it was Bill Burr was in it.
Yeah, he's like wrote and directed it.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I like Bill Burr.
Yeah.
Who are the other actors?
They're comedians like
All
like
comedians.
him.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
but I can't think of their names off the top of my head. The other two main dads. But yeah, it's pretty good. I feel like my expectations were it would have been a little bit better. Like I don't say it's not worth watching, but so it's good, but I feel like there was potential for it to be better than what it was. I'll leave it at that. But there's still some funny moments and probably worth watching if you like that kind of comedy.
Well, that sucks also because like I think Bill Burr's really good and his stand-up's good, and I'd imagine if he was, and he's acting. I mean, he was even in Breaking Bad, and he was great. And that,
Star Wars.
Oh yeah, that's right. He
The
was in
Mandalorian.
Mando. Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I forgot he was in that too. Yeah. So like he's good, and I don't know if this is his first time directing. Or
Yeah,
not,
I don't.
but-
Well, I would say it was a little. It might be his first time like writing a narrative thing versus like stand up,
Right.
and then maybe directing as well. Because I don't know, because it feel like there's a little bit of it, or not always, but just a little bit of the performance, or like there's certain points you're like, okay, this is a little cheesy, like that,
Okay.
and then I think the same with like a little bit of the writing, like it, just.
Dang. All
I
right.
feel like but that's just my. Maybe someone else would like it better, but that's just my thoughts.
Okay.
I think that's it for me for last week.
All right. I just got one thing that I want to talk about. So this is something. So it's the third season now. So the show's called Godfather of Harlem. I wanted to mention the show for a while because this is the kind of show that I don't think many people have watched, which sucks because it's so good. But I know the reason why not many people have watched it. But the third season wrapped up, I want to say, like beginning this year. But I'm slowly getting caught back up on it because I believe they're doing a fourth and final season, which is good. But so this is a show that was on Epix. This is the reason why no one watched it. So dumb.
What?
Exactly. Yeah. And then because I checked, I'm like, okay. Like I wish it was on something else, but then they changed the name to MGM. I imagine MGM owned it anyway.
Probably.
But then is MGM part of something else now?
I think they got bought by Amazon.
Amazon.
I'm pretty
Okay.
sure.
So then
That's
they
why
changed
Amazon
the name.
has the rights to James Bond or something, right?
That would make sense. Okay. So then, but now it's on Hulu, which is great. So I'm hoping a lot more people will discover it.
Nice.
And I'm assuming then if they do a fourth season, which I think they are, hopefully, then that'll just be right on Hulu. But so it's a really cool story. So it's in the early 1960s, obviously in Harlem. It's about a crime boss named Bumpy Johnson, and he's basically just at war with the Italian mob.
Nice.
It's awesome. And this is what else is crazy. So this show started, like I said, on a channel called Epix, and the cast is Forrest Whitaker, Vincent D'Onofrio, and Giancarlo Esposito.
What?
Yes. And they're all three, and they're all like the main actors on this show. And I'm like, on this show that no one's watching. And I also want to say, it is shot so well. It looks great. All the acting obviously is amazing. Even the supporting cast, everyone's great in it. The actual set design, like it looks very good.
So
I don't know where they film it.
She
but
said it's on Hulu now.
yes, it is.
Might have to
Yeah.
add it to the list.
It is awesome. It is done so well. It's cool. Also, they mix in, besides the score, then they'll mix in actually some more modern rap songs in it, but then change it a little bit to fit more with the time period of it. It's really cool how they do that too.
Yes, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I wanted to shout it out because I'm slowly going through it just because I like it so much and I don't want it to end. And I'm hoping that they're not going to cancel it before they finish telling the story they want to tell. But yeah, so everyone.
Well, if they
check it
know they're
out.
doing a fourth season and they know it's going to be the final, then they can kind of plan for the wrap up.
I think there is. I was trying to look up. I thought I saw something about it being like one more season to finish it out. So I hope they get a chance to do it. So
Nice.
Yeah,
All right.
that's cool. I mean, I'll still pay attention. I remembered something when I forget what it was. I remember what it was you mentioned. But this is just kind of, we're doing One Piece live action.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. Just thrown in there. Another really good anime, Initial D, which is basically about the whole drifting scene in the 90s, following this. It's based on a half true story, but
okay, I've heard of
it's
that
an
one.
adaptation. Yeah, it is really good. But just announced a couple days ago. We don't know much about it at all, but they're doing a live action movie of Initial D. It's an adaptation of
Nice.
it, and Sung Kang is directing it, which he directed a few of the Fast and Furious movies.
Hmm.
A couple.
Because I say this is basically Tokyo Drift 2.0.
Yeah, I
More
mean,
like-
yeah,
more-
you're
more-
right. Basically,
Yeah, but more like Tokyo Drift like just wasn't as good as Initial D was.
I would
and
say
then,
with a mix of like Speed Racer too. You know,
Speed Racer. I forgot about Speed Racer.
because it kind of has more of that vibe.
Does it?
I would imagine if it's anime. You know.
yeah, it's Initial D is really actually it's really good. It's the only anime that I got Joel ever to watch, and he watched the entire thing. And
I
then
can
I
see him
actually
watching that,
found
yeah.
out. So he apparently my Crunchyroll was still logged in on his Apple TV, and he rewatched the entire thing
Nice.
without me. And I was like, okay, all right, it must be good enough for Joel to rewatch
Hey, that's
it.
cool. Joel's still watching some anime then.
Yeah, technically. No, it is really good. So it's about a kid who, his dad is a tofu. He owns a tofu shop, and he delivers tofu, and you have to cross this big mountain pass, and he starts having his son drive the car way younger than he's supposed to be able to, and then basically trains him to be a really good downhill drifter. And then, but like he hates driving cars at first. Like he doesn't understand because he had to do it for work as a kid, and like he was forced to do it, so he didn't like the idea of it until he like really gets into it. And so his dad practically has to trick him into doing his first race, and then he like wants to take on everybody after that. But his dad also is like a legend in the area, and like obviously he doesn't know that, and it is good. So it'll be cool to see how they do that as a live action movie.
That's cool.
That was just something I just like.
Well,
remembered.
and hopefully, like we've been talking about now, we're doing live action One Piece is like, hopefully going forward,
yeah,
live action adaptations of anime will be good. Like,
yeah, they'll
One
start to
Piece.
learn from One Piece.
Yes.
And what one of the things Netflix did right recently.
We'll see. I mean, I know it's not anime, but they got the Last Airbender live action stuff coming.
Yes.
does it actually look good?
Well, there's only been
I
like
haven't seen anything.
there's only
on it.
been a few like stills. And that's
Very,
it.
very, yeah. But it does look like it could be good.
But they're Geek Week or whatever is like early November. Netflix's Geek Week. And I
Okay.
bet you there'll be like a teaser or something.
Yeah.
You know, to be fair, actually, the animated series of Avatar, I would say probably is closest with One Piece. Like, I would say those two are like the closest in like the way they feel when you're watching them. So if they just did One Piece live action, they're doing that. So
But there already was a Last Airbender movie that was horrible.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying.
We don't even talk about that.
I'm like, we have to.
It's blocked it out.
Yeah,
I-
for sure.
That
Wait, what
ruined-
movie are you talking
Exactly.
about?
That gave M. Night Shyamalan like a 10-year like hiatus because of that
Mhm.
movie.
Mhm.
It was so
He was
bad. He just
banned.
didn't do anything for like 10 years.
He was banned. Yeah. No, wait.
Who's
There's
Sean?
wait. That Avatar movie about the blue people.
About the movie? Yeah, I've heard
That's what
that's really
Avatar
good.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the other problem you got, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's why it's Avatar: The
The
Last,
Last Airbender. Yeah.
All right.
All right. Yeah, we can get into it.
Yeah, let's get into
So
One
let's
Piece.
get into our feature presentation. All right. So episode 3 titled "Tell No Tales," and then episode 4 titled "The Pirates Are Coming."
Mm-hmm.
And we're covering both these because it's basically one story.
Yep.
As Lucas informed us, but before we watched, but now watching it, I can see, there's like, it's
Good
basically,
call.
Yeah.
So just the basic synopsis, Luffy, Zoro, and Nami meet Usopp,
Usopp. Yeah.
in the
No, you're good.
Syrup village, a small, peaceful village. Usopp tells all sorts of lies about his adventures he has never been to his friend Kaya, who has been sick in bed for over a year since she lost her parents. Then Luffy, Zoro, and Nami fight their way through Kaya's mansion, which has now become a prison. Usopp enlists the help of Kobe, Helimpo, and the Marines. Luffy finally gets the ship of his dreams as Garp closes in.
Mm-hmm.
So that's our synopsis of the 2 episodes. All right,
Nice.
so what did you guys think? What are your thoughts on this one?
Did you watch through it again?
Yeah.
Okay.
I forgot how well they did this section, like in general, like just like watching in general, like it's done really well. But then also like it feels exactly like watching the anime. Like if it was animated, it's just this specific story arc was done so well because the guy who plays Usopp does such a good job at being like he says all the things he says because, well, he's in love, but also because he wants attention because of all these different things. But then then we got a really, really important boy who cries wolf scenario.
Mhm.
And like, that's like, it's the whole core of this story arc. And it like really like makes you like feel something for a minute. And so, yeah I think they did a good job with it.
I did fail to mention both episodes were directed by the same person, Emma Sullivan.
Oh, I
wonder if they do that for this whole, like,
Well,
each 2
it
episodes,
makes sense.
Maybe.
Makes sense if you wouldn't want to.
That'd be cool.
It's so tight.
Yeah.
It's like really like a part 1 and part 2.
Oh, that's just the other thing. Like this episode to the second, like episode 3 to episode 4, feel the most like you're watching an anime because you get to the end of the 3rd episode and you're like, I have to watch the 4th
Yeah.
episode. I can't not watch the next episode.
dude, at the end of the 4th episode, even.
Well, yeah, because then what it does is you're
Yeah.
like, well, now I want to know what happens
Yep.
after they get all this cool stuff and
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they leave you kind of hanging. But yeah, we can get into the
always.
the specifics.
Always.
So I mean, overall, I thought it's a great episode. I mean, there's some little like tropes of like, oh yeah, I know what's gonna happen. You know, the kind of things, but still fun to watch.
Yeah, I think this is like getting even better as it goes. Like, I think both these episodes I liked even more than the first 2, and I think, like you said, Lucas, like this is kind of when it ramps up even more, right? You were saying,
Yep.
and then I guess you said it keeps kind of going from here in that same way. Yeah, and it's I liked how it's kind of condensed into like a, what was this? Well, I guess they were both about an hour long, right? So
Yeah.
kind of like a,
roughly.
yeah. So we're doing like kind of like a movie for each one of these, and it's cool. Like they're kind of going, now they're on, because they were in the first 2, they were in a certain mission, then they're on to their next thing, and then they wrap this up, and now they're off to something else. It's
Mhm.
cool how they do that, and I imagine that's how they do it with so many episodes of One Piece anyway. They're just hopping around
Mhm.
different quests. But yeah, and then also once we get to it, I'm like, this one character is so cool that I had no idea about, and I'm sure he's huge in the anime, but I had no idea. So we'll talk about him when we get to him. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get into it. So, in the first of these 2 episodes, third episode, we start off with the boats leaking, the ship that they had, and so they have to find the closest place to be able to hopefully get a new ship. And so then they head to that small town,
Mm-hmm.
and coincidentally happens to be they meet this this random dude,
Is it Usopp?
Usopp. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually had something about, cause I didn't notice it in the first two episodes, but in episode 3 and 4, the actual title is different each episode,
Mm.
where it says One Piece, which is awesome.
Mhm. Yeah, a lot of times they do a transition too, like an interesting.
Yeah, but even
Yeah.
the way it looks was different on 3 and 4. I don't know if it was on 1 and 2, because I didn't notice it on that one, but I'm wondering if then it changes again in the next episode.
You're talking about like the
the actual
like,
title.
Yeah, it has like a
that says
different
One
logo
Piece.
and different stuff, right? It has
Yeah, it looks different, like the
character- yeah.
design
Yep.
and everything on it. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, they
And
do
so-
that in anime too. That's probably why.
Also, because it's obviously like the main theme, the music, but sometimes that changes also, because I noticed, I think it was in episode 4, they altered that some too,
Mm.
the actual main theme song, which is cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Just quick note about Usopp. The one character that they really just didn't fully get, because he's got a Pinocchio nose in the anime.
Okay, that's
It's
that
like
character.
real long.
Yeah.
And there's a
Is
lot
that
of
what-
comedic moments in it where like he like bangs his nose or like gets like punched in or whatever, like very anime. But yeah, they didn't do that. But it's,
That was
you know.
one of the things you said you were okay that they
Yeah,
didn't
I was
do.
like,
Yeah.
I mean,
That would be a little
It'd
too
be kinda
it's
silly, I think,
ridiculous.
for
Yeah,
yeah.
especially
It'd be
for a
kinda
main
hard to-
character and everything. Yeah.
It'd be hard to do and have it there all the
Mhm.
time
Yeah.
and just.
Yeah.
But I guess it fits in with his telling tales.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Um.
Which, by the way, he never stops doing
Yeah.
ever.
Mm.
Okay. Well, he kind of did here, but it just, but that was short lived, right?
Yeah.
Like we haven't gotten that far with him.
The very beginning of episode 3 starts with him, right? He's running around the village saying
Yes,
the pirates
yeah.
are coming, right?
Yeah. As a kid, right?
Yeah, he's younger,
beginning,
yeah. Oh no, yeah, he is a kid. Yeah, he's not. Yeah,
it
he
starts.
is.
It starts him at the very beginning. It's just him as a kid,
Mm-hmm.
and then we get the stuff with the crew, and then it comes back, and then it's him
Yes.
doing it as an adult
Yeah,
Yeah.
or teenager. Or
Tina,
whatever.
yeah, however old he is.
Yeah. So then they show up and they're wandering around and they come across the shipyard.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it was a cool moment, and you're like, because you're like, when Luffy's like, this is it, and then you're like, okay, he's gonna get this ship somehow,
Yeah,
but like, I don't know how, but he's gonna get this
Oh,
ship
yeah.
somehow, and he's not gonna steal it, even though that's what yeah, what's her name? Nami. Yeah, I was trying to.
yeah. No, Luffy's got to do it in the righteous way.
Yep.
Yeah,
But yeah, Nami suggests that they're gonna.
Yeah.
He's a good pirate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's right. He
Yeah.
does say that a lot.
But yeah, because then it's like after Luffy walks away, right? Nami and Zoro, they're like, he's like, so what's the real plan? And Nami's like, well, we'll try his way, but worst comes to worst, we steal a ship.
Dude, all the crew banter is so good
Mhm.
in this, and I imagine it just keeps getting even better. But like all the new characters
Yes.
that we meet are so different, but are all very interesting too. And I know with the limited amount of anime that I've watched, like that's a thing that anime does really well that I think they should learn from and do in not just live action anime, but in all, TV shows and movies. I think they could learn a lot from that kind of thing.
I agree 100%. That is one of the big things is anime does characters other than the main character so well.
Yeah.
So then Aesop says he will introduce him to his friend who owns the ship.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get to meet his friends. Well, his friend and
Right.
her butler and
Yeah,
servants and whatnot.
Okay, that's who. Yeah. Because it's Kaya,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
but we don't
Usopp.
get the butler's name till later.
I said Aesop, Usopp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
My bad. Yeah. So
Sorry, I wanted to, because I think it was also towards the beginning of episode 3. Nami is like talking on the little snail again. Is that the beginning of episode 3?
No, that was the end of episode 2.
No, but she's on it again.
No, she tried to use it because it got flooded.
Yeah.
Right. Was that at the beginning of this
It
episode?
didn't work though. Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
I wanted to mention that because when she goes to pick it up, I'm like, dang, that little guy looks like he's dead. Like he looks gone. I was like, this is sad. Her little mini, which you said is a new addition, right?
Yeah.
They don't have the
Not the
little
mini
ones.
ones,
Yeah,
no.
they don't have the mini ones.
Yeah, because in the actual anime, the whole, who she's talking to and like
Yeah.
what she's doing, she just goes out of her way to achieve what she needs to without ever communicating with this person. So whatever she's like talking about and dealing with that stuff, she just goes and does it. She doesn't talk to him beforehand. So, but that
Gotcha.
also affects part of the story, and it's like one of the only parts of the story that I like not necessarily disagree with, but like it was my least favorite thing that they changed about the story. It involves this whole
But
talking and everything, and that's in the next 2 episodes.
since you've seen the whole first season, I mean, did they do it well? This change?
Overall,
Okay.
it's fine. It's just it's my least favorite part that they
Okay.
changed because there's a really cool fight scene in the next 2 episodes that isn't there. That
Oh, that's
would
what
have
you were
been part of
mentioning.
that story, yeah.
Okay.
And it was just a really cool fight scene, and it's just not there.
Well, we
unfortunately.
get a lot of really cool fight scenes in these 2 episodes.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
All right, so they go back to the house. They meet the friend. This is Kaya, and then her crew over there that's at the house.
Mhm.
Then we go to the Marines, and we see Kobe.
I know. I keep forgetting Kobe's name.
Kobe, yeah. Kobe, and he seems to impress the head guy. What's his name? General? I don't know what he is.
That's
Yeah, because I don't think he's an admiral, or no, because there has to be one on each ship. So I think he's the admiral.
Yeah.
yeah.
Because it's not Garb, right?
Garb is
It is Garb.
I think
Okay, yeah,
it's
it's
Garb.
Admiral Garb. Yeah,
Admiral Garb.
Is it Garb or Garp?
Garp.
Is it P?
I'm pretty sure it's Garb, but it might be Garp.
It's spelled with a P.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, I guess it's Garb.
Trying to-
Every time it sounds like, yeah.
So that is Garp. Okay. I thought, yeah.
So he seemed to impress Admiral Garp. They end up playing a board game.
Not that it really matters, but I don't think he actually is an admiral and I think they talk about it in the second to last episode or something. He chooses not to because he prefers his free reign on. No, he didn't go to the next level, so he had the ability to go to the
He's
next
just
level
a
because he's the
captain.
guy who took down Gold Roger.
Oh, yeah.
So he
At the beginning, yeah.
he was offered an even higher position than admiral, but he preferred the free reign of admiral, and so yeah, he is admiral. It's
Okay.
like whatever.
All right. So he and Kobe are playing little
Shogi.
shogi, yeah. And
Is that what it is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
well,
I've actually always wanted to try it, but
yeah. It was like I was like
it's
Yeah.
it's similar to chess in a way, but it's also very different
Yeah.
because it's played differently. But when it comes to like strategy, it's like the same level of intensity that chess has.
I like how he was like, "You're overthinking it," and then he put the speed on there so that he would
Mhm.
have to do it fast. And
Yep.
Well, I also liked when Garp is seeing how Kobe is like with his tasks he's doing, like, tying the rope and all that. And, he's trying to fix, what's the other guy's name? The really annoying
You
guy.
said it earlier.
I know. I didn't
It's
realize
on
that was
there.
his name.
Helimpo?
Halimpo.
Is that okay?
Hippo?
Yeah. And then, he
Hair. We'll just call him Hair.
yeah. Yeah. I always call him Big Mouth because he's,
Yeah, or that. Yeah.
Kobe, he does his rope really well. And then, he tries to fix his rope, but then when Garp comes up to him, he knows he's like, or, what's his name? Big Mouth guy is like,
Mhm.
he's trying to, talk down to Kobe, but it's nice that Garp, he saw
Mhm.
right through everything. He knew what happened there, and he, takes a
It's
liking
nice to see
Kobe.
the nice guy get rewarded.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Yeah. So then we back to the village, the island, and the mansion. And we start to find out that the butler and the help are not so nice, and they're actually
Not so helpful.
helpful. Yeah,
Yeah.
and they are actually a group of pirates
Mm-hmm.
called the Black Cat Pirates,
Mm-hmm.
and he is a Kuro.
This is what I was talking about.
Yeah.
Dude, when you see like what he does later, like it's so cool. I'm like, and after seeing it, I'm like, okay, this is probably an iconic character from anime, from the anime.
I mean,
No?
not really.
Really?
Well, so
I thought he would
technically, eventually, because obviously we see at the end, like they get away.
be. Yes.
But like you don't get any backstory really too much.
Okay.
Like more than you already get in the live action. You know that they were this band of pirates that technically got taken down. Like whatever. That he should be dead, but you get I think just a little bit more backstory, because another thing anime does really well, and like they don't do it as much in the live action, is they tend to also like not necessarily try to get you to like the villains, but like they tell you enough about the villains that sometimes, depending on the reason why they became a villain, like you almost like sympathize with them.
Yeah.
And like they just do character development on all fronts typically really well. And yeah, I don't think he was an exception. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't go back and watch the anime story arc part of this on top of
No,
the
but
live
that's-
action, but
I think that's like the best kind of storytelling, because if you're only, the actual heroes of the story,
Mhm.
but not really showing everything character wise or character development with the villains,
Yeah.
and they're just, even though I guess certain movies are supposed to be that way, where a villain is just a villain.
yeah.
But I like when stories do that, where just
Makes
as
you
much
care,
about them.
yeah, makes you care
Exactly.
about all the characters,
Yep.
even if they're making bad decisions.
Yes.
Yeah. So then the bad guys here they take out Zoro, and they kill the lawyer guy, and they throw him into the pit in the well,
Mhm.
and then Luffy,
Wait, which guy did they kill?
the lawyer,
The lamb.
the lamb.
Or the ram.
Oh
The
man,
ram, ram, not lamb.
yeah.
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 And then Luffy's all knocked out from the.
Dude,
He drank so much of
he ate the whole pot.
the pot of the poisoned soup or
Mhm.
whatever it
Yeah.
was. And so then they kind of leave it at that, and that's where our kind
Well,
of
that was
cliffhanger between episode 3 and 4 is. It's
yeah, that was one thing I wanted to mention. Because actually, when Claudia and I were both watching it, that we both picked up on immediately was when they're making this food. I'm like, oh, this is obviously poison. Like
Yeah,
that was like
yeah.
pretty
Oh, yeah,
obvious, from the start.
That was one of the things I was talking about. That like earlier when
Yes,
I said like
that's a very
there's lot of, like,
obvious-
obvious tropes
Yeah.
in here that just
Yeah, but the thing is, like, it doesn't really pull away from the storytelling
No.
at all, and so like you don't mind it.
Right.
Because as soon as also we met the butler, I was like, okay, this guy's not
Yeah.
good.
Oh, of course.
Because you're like,
But
This is not just a
he's
butler.
obviously doing something
Right.
and controlling her in some way, and
then the thing is like the character, like he's a good enough character that it doesn't matter that
Yes.
Yep.
has bad intent at the beginning.
well, there's more to him than just that.
Right.
And that's what he said.
I just wanted to like when he does kill, and I can't remember what his name is, but and then like take out Zoro and stuff. It's and Usopp runs away.
Mm-hmm.
He like just the way, and it was really done well in the anime too. But like the way he is revealed is so like well done.
Oh yeah.
Because you don't really see what his powers are yet, but you do see him, and you can tell he's powerful. And then you find out he's part of the Black Cat Pirates, and he was like the leader or the captain and everything. And like, and you're like, oh, like what's gonna go? And then, well, cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm trying to remember.
The way episode 4 starts.
No. I was gonna say at some point we do revisit Buggy, the clown.
Oh yeah,
That is true.
And I can't remember if that was in episode 3 or 4.
Yeah, I have a note about that actually, because he mentions a character that I'm like, that seems like an important character too.
Yeah.
He's not saying anything, so
No
obviously.
comment.
Hold on, it is Arlong.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, he shows up.
Oh, that is
Arlong
Arlong?
actually.
Oh, okay. I thought he was talking about
he's
someone
out in
else.
the shadow.
Yeah,
He's
Arlong's
in-
there. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he kind of
'Cause-
looks like a.
Because he comes back to him, like you see him once when the one guy's
That's
like
right.
Arlong was looking for you, and he's like finds his foot, the last piece of he just puts his foot back on.
Yeah, that's
He's
right.
like, what? And then later that guy takes him out, like,
Mhm.
and then takes him to see, or holds him hostage till Arlong is there, and then
Mhm.
so it's like 2 separate scenes that we get him
Yeah.
briefly. And then Arlong's like, you've been, I'm the pirate of the
East Blue.
East Blue. Yeah, I knew it was something blue, but
Okay.
the East Blue and
We got the East Blue, the West Blue, the North Blue, and the South Blue.
okay,
Oh, and the All Blue,
okay.
which is part of the next 2
Okay,
episodes. as
cool.
well.
But anyway, he's like, and here you've been doing some stuff and not giving me my cut, basically.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And he's like, Arlong, baby, no. Yeah. You gotta love Buggy the way he puts on a show.
Yeah, and I actually it was cool to see him again because I knew we would see him again, but I didn't know it would be
I didn't
already.
so yeah, I did
Yes.
not expect to see
Yeah.
him that quickly to have, and then it kind of implies that he's kind of more of a important side character / villain, because if they're gonna have that thread of like a little bit of like these scenes, means it's leading up to something later again.
Yeah. I won't say like any character specifically except for Buggy because this is like so the whole objective is to get to the Grand Line, right?
Yeah.
A lot of the side characters that you meet early on in the East Blue and even farther once they get into the we don't get into the Grand Line during this, and they get into the Grand Line, like these characters don't necessarily ever go away. They're in the universe. So like Buggy, 600 episodes in or whatever, he's a big
That's
shot
cool.
captain, like in the Grand Line, just like Luffy is. Like it's like so like sometimes the side characters never really go away and they're pretty important, and
As
it's cool to see. I mean, even some that are like super minor side characters that you never think you'll see again end up showing back up. And this is like you'll never get to this, so like this is cool. There's a bad guy in I don't know, like probably like 500 episodes in that appears back up in like the 700 episode mark, and he's like changed his ways. He like respects Luffy now, and he like wants to be like a part of Luffy's crew, and he like worships them instead of like because he
That's
got
great.
beat by him so bad and stuff, and he's like, oh Nami please, like it's. And so then he creates a pirate ship, and it's like all Luffy themed and everything. Like
Nice.
it like almost looks like the ship that they end up
Yeah.
getting here, but like it's like Luffy's head and like this, and it's just so like they're the Luffy fans or whatever. I forget what their pirate crew is called, but it's just like even goofy stuff like that where it's like not really important,
Yeah.
but it's there. It's just cool.
yeah. Yeah. So we open up to episode 4 with Zoro trying to climb out of the well, and he starts to have this flashbacks to childhood.
Yes,
Dude.
sir.
So the
Yeah.
backstory of
Zoro's backstory is so cool.
Yeah, this was one of my favorite from both these episodes.
so we had some good fight scenes with
Yeah.
him in the
Also, I think they did also casting perfectly for a young Zoro.
Mhm. Yep, they did a good job of that for sure. Although it is funny because the young version of Zoro in the anime literally just looks like a mini version of Zoro. Like he doesn't look like any
yeah,
different.
there was to draw him differently, right?
barely any different.
But it was cool. And it's just cool to see like that's where he gets that sword, his third sword.
Yep.
Which then
They-
they timed that really well to when he's fighting, because he obviously eventually gets out of the well, and he's fighting the 2 pirates, and she somehow gets the sword from him, and it's
Mhm.
like stuck there, and it's kind of timed at the moment, kind of right at the moment where you get to you just found out that why it matters to him. So it was good pacing of the story. There's the backstory versus the main story.
Even though I did just watch it again, and I never think they did mention that it's one of the legendary swords, right?
No. Unless I missed it if they did.
I
Yeah, I don't remember them saying.
because I thought it was
when.
when he was receiving it.
Well, he said it's something. He's like,
Like what
he didn't really say what it was, but
Yeah, I don't remember exactly
I just
what he
remember
says.
the master saying, "Do you really deserve this?" or something, kind of like implying it was
Okay,
important.
yeah.
But like, I didn't know if that was because it was just hers, and
I'll say if they didn't mention it, they don't mention it in the live action at all.
okay,
But yeah, that's why. And actually, it might be in the next 2 episodes. It's possible. Actually, I think it is because there might even be a little bit more backstory.
I don't know.
Also,
I don't remember.
what they do with his flashbacks, because they don't show it. I mean, it's what, maybe 5 to 10 minutes altogether, right?
Yeah, probably
10 minutes.
Yeah.
Even in just that small amount of time, what they did with what is the girl's name?
Oh yeah,
written down.
got it written down.
It's written down here somewhere.
Yes.
Kwani, Quina. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't remember
Amazing.
how they pronounce it in the
Yeah.
show, but what they do with and what happens to her in just those like 10 minutes, they did it so well because like that was very impactful even in just that short amount of time.
Yeah. Yeah. So we back to the so then Usopp ran away,
Mm-hmm.
and then he finds the Marines, and they're
First, he starts
he's telling everybody there's pirates.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then of course no one believes him again.
right. So and we get another flashback involving Usopp and
Yes.
his story of always wanting to be an adventurer or whatever, and you find out his dad was also a pirate, and he never came back, and then he always wanted to say that his dad would come back, but then also that the pirates are coming. He always wanted to make sure, even though it's funny because he wants to be a pirate, so he like says it.
Yeah.
So then he comes running through. Pirates are here. The pirates are here, and
No one believes him.
no one believes him
except
The
for the
pirates are
Marines.
really
except for the
here.
Marines.
And Kobe.
Yeah.
Kobe specifically.
Yeah,
I
Kobe.
believe you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then he goes with the Marines to the house, and of course, Kuro answers and kind of sweet talks enough
Mhm.
and hands him over Luffy to
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
So then the Marines are basically leaving with Luffy,
Mhm.
and then of course Zoro stops them.
Which this is the first time you see Zoro use, and like this happens a lot more in the anime than we saw in this. But his terrible sense of direction.
Yeah. I remember you mentioning that, and
Yeah.
then him just like he's like, "Where were you going?" He's like, "Back to the mansion." He's like, "Oh no, this is this way." After he says it, yeah, and it was a
Yeah,
note
yeah,
I
that
had
was
in
cool.
my head because I don't even know if I would have picked up on it.
No,
if
I
you
probably
hadn't
wouldn't. Yeah.
mentioned that in the
Yeah.
anime he's really bad at directions, but otherwise I would have been like, "Oh, he just was confused."
In the
Turned around.
second season, we'll probably see more of it because
Mhm.
they're in a lot more different towns and stuff, and there's a lot of like specifically in the next like story arc that would be involved. There's a lot of moments where like his misdirection or like his terrible sense of direction like creates story here and like and there, and so we'll
Gotcha.
probably see a lot more of it. But
Yeah, so he rescued him, but before they can get back to the mansion, the pirates, Kuro and his crew, engage the safety features of the mansion and
Mhm.
lock it down. And there's like barred,
Like all the windows.
all the windows and doors
Mhm.
are barred up, and so luckily Nami and Usopp
yeah, Usopp had already snuck back in.
they got back in, or well, Nami was already there, and then they find their way to Kaya to kind of hang out with her,
Mhm.
and
Because at first, Kaya didn't even believe Usopp because he
Right.
went there first before going to go find. Because he was like, just come with me, and she's like, I'm not believing your stories.
Yeah.
Like, the stories are cool when they're trying to cheer me up, but this is scaring me.
Mm-hmm.
But then Nami shows up because she was hiding in the pots,
yeah,
and
she
she's
overheard,
like, this
yeah.
this is good, and then Kaya's like, oh, this is actually happening, kind of thing. And then Usopp comes back, and then they go on full lockdown.
And also, there was a nice moment where, she caught her stealing stuff. She hit the
Mhm.
pillow case or whatever, and then, but then, it was neat to see Kaya kind of soften Nami's heart, right? Like and have her open up a little bit and kind of.
It was done really well too.
And then she's like, because she was like, you're not very good at this, being a friend.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I thought that was well done. And so then, Kuro starts looking for him. So they use the servant tunnels or whatever you want to call it, like the secret door, secret doors for like servants to deliver stuff.
That was also just how cool his whatever blades, finger, whatever things look.
What are they really like part of him, or are they just?
Yeah, it's a devil fruit. It's
So it is still fruit.
I'm pretty sure it's part of his devil fruit.
I figured he has to be, but it was weird because like, do they go in like Wolverine almost?
Actually, they might.
They might show.
I think they're gloves.
So he just adds
because otherwise he would put him down to fix his glasses, but he would have to take his gloves off, and that's why he does
he does that all the time,
which is exactly how he does it in the anime because it's very anime.
And that actor did such a good job.
Dude,
like,
that actor is great.
Making it look like it's a natural tick, almost like a
he
thing.
does it all the time. It's very natural for him to do.
Yeah.
The devil fruit power is his other stuff that he does, which is super cool as well.
Yeah, so which we saw earlier a little bit,
very briefly,
but then we see it a lot more here in a little bit. So Usopp, Kaya, and Nami are all trying to make their way to the master area because that's where there's a place to open the safety gates or whatever, and they get to that area, the master bedroom area. But then Kuro shows up at basically the time as they're trying to reopen everything. And so then they end up trying to fight them.
Also, just like side note, I mean, Halloween's coming up. When you be watching this, it's only a couple days, but it's a very like realistic horror movie style setting. Like when he's like chasing them around, like slashing through the walls, like they're actually doing everything in their power to avoid it. Like they're not doing anything that's super stupid, but it's still very like horror movie feeling.
Oh, definitely.
Even though it's not horror at all. But
no, but you see that a lot in horror movies. Yeah, that same exact sequence. You're right. Yeah.
They're still creating some suspense.
Yeah.
Well, and even him like dragging the walls with his claws, like even that too is very like or him saying all that kind of stuff.
Definitely had like a
because even like dark, the way they film it, him walking through the hall and all that. Yeah,
it definitely had those vibes.
Yeah,
horror movie vibes.
Yeah, it was good.
So then Nami and Usopp try to fight Kuro, kind of. And like while Kaya's hiding, well, I guess mostly like, they're just hiding. And then Usopp tries to do something. But while that's happening, we have Zoro and Luffy coming back to the mansion, and they just, because of his strength and whatnot, they were able to lift the gate enough to prop it open and get inside.
Yeah.
And then Zoro starts fighting the two pirates.
While Luffy goes to
find the other ones.
The big bad.
Yep. And so then we get the fight between Luffy and Kuro.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah, and that was cool. And then we get to see his powers, him moving around. But I guess it's supposed to be like like silent as a cat. I don't know, like what's the implied, because he's the black, because he just moves around like he's like.
Yeah, it's like super speed basically.
Okay. I wasn't sure like if it's speed.
It's not particularly speed. I think it's more of
because it
changes time perception.
Okay,
I think, but it has to be speed because the way Luffy defeats him
is to hear him.
Is he listens to where he's going, and then predicts where he's going to go, and then go ahead and hits where he's going to go, because he doesn't turn invisible. He just moves really fast.
Okay. Yeah, once he gets him though, he was like, because Luffy's strong, he was holding him.
Yeah,
and he's like, "Where are you gonna go?"
He's got like the crazy headbutt.
Yeah,
with his finishing move, like.
Yeah, what does he say for this one?
I was trying to remember what it was. Yeah,
but it was super cool though, super fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then of course Zoro, like I kind of alluded to, fights the two other cat pirates, and then they get his sword, his special sword, briefly, and
And then he goes sicko mode.
yeah,
Yeah, he does.
takes him out, and then he gets the sword back,
Mm-hmm.
and they, of course, Kaya is like so thankful and all that, and she's like, you can have the ship.
Yeah. So, just one other thing I want to like throw in there. The negotiations originally for the ship is a great scene.
Oh well, yes, when he's standing on the table.
When he's standing on the table, I'm
Yeah.
gonna be king of the pirates.
Yeah.
I forgot about that scene. Yeah, that is
Well,
good.
actually, no, he doesn't say it all loud that time. He just leans in real close to her. And he's like, while standing on the table, holding food, whatever. I'm gonna be king of the pirates.
Yeah, I also like because he and Nami bet.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The- and
Oh,
then-
that's right. Yeah.
and she loses the bet, of course.
Mhm.
And you see her react to that, like when Kaya finally is like, "Oh yeah, we can." She's like, "Yeah, you can have the ship," and then like he kind of Luffy
He, like,
kind of looks at her, and
yep.
she's like,
Yep.
Mhm.
That was good. That was good.
Yeah, he always says like his response, "King of the Pirates," but it's like you mentioned, it's like he says it in so many different ways. Like that's
Mhm.
always his response, but it's cool how like he just
Yeah. He
does
uses
it
it
in
for
different
anything.
ways. Yeah.
It's-
Mhm.
I'm gonna be king of the pirates.
So
Yeah.
then they set sail in the ship, and Luffy and Usopp are almost arguing who's captain.
Yep.
Dude, yeah, this is good.
But but even before that, like the setup of like the just the nicer quarters and stuff, and like Zoro's like
Mhm.
still in his hammock in the back.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then they're arguing, and then all of a sudden, they get shot at, and so like, what the heck? And they're out, and they go out, and then Luffy looks, and he's like, grandfather?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I was like, what?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's why it's a good ending. It's like, what? Okay.
And then it's like end.
Yeah. Yeah, they did that really
Yeah,
well.
Grandpa.
Yeah.
Grandpa.
And you can see the look on everyone in the cruise. Like, what did he just say?
Yeah.
Like,
Also, I like that Usopp's like, hey, I made us a new, what do they call it? Their
Jolly
flag.
Roger.
Jolly Roger, yeah. And he's like, no, I like mine better.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, let's just put that to the side. And like, yeah, that whole thing was great.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Like, he never changes the story. So Usopp is a captain forever. He is the captain of the ship. But as very shortly, like he knows Luffy's the captain. He just likes to say he's the captain. And so like when he's telling stories of like their adventures, Luffy's not the captain. He is, but it's great because you see it a little bit in the last two episodes because there's a story that he tells, and it's like you'll see because then Luffy's like, I'll let him have it,
Yeah, and it's just great because we already I already was mentioning about the first couple episodes how good like their interaction and banter with the crew is, and then now with Usopp also it's like there's just way more of that.
Yeah.
So
I'm excited for these next two episodes because there's so much good backstory and there's a couple cool fight scenes and a lot of new information comes to light and the final member of the crew.
Nice.
So
okay.
Okay.
our crew, they're still not.
I'm trying to think
technically a crew
because-
Yes, because they
Yeah,
still
yeah.
aren't agreeing to be a crew.
I'm trying to think who it is because I know you kind of like on the main picture of the show. It kind of shows everyone around.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think the other
don't know.
person that's there. I'll have to look at it again, see who it's going to be.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, if I was betting, it would maybe another female. Is that right?
Mm-mm.
No. Wow.
Yeah, I think Nami's the only.
That's. I mean,
Not until way down the line
Oh,
is there
okay.
a second female.
what year was the first? Well, I guess it was the manga. When was it? The manga.
Yeah, that would have been. Yeah,
Because if they're
I have
going
no
off,
idea.
if they're going off that, then it's maybe not as.
80s
Yeah,
and 90s, something
Yeah.
like that.
that makes more sense then. Because I feel like if you're writing something today, you'd be like, okay, we need another one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, they do get one eventually,
Yeah.
but it's not for a little while.
I do know who the other female character is because I just played a One Piece video game
Oh yeah.
on PS5 that had another female in the party. I'm assuming this is
Yeah,
the girl.
Nico Robin. Maybe not. Maybe it was a different side character for a bit.
Oh yeah, it is. That
It
wait.
is. She uses like the hands.
Yes.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, that is who it is. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I guess that would be way down the road then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
So probably
it's
not
like,
even
it's not like
season 2?
super ooh, no.
Okay.
It's not till I don't think till they get to the Grand Line. Yeah, it's like early Grand Line.
Okay.
Like because they pick up 4 or 5 more crew members once they're in the Grand Line. But the next guy is all you get, but till you get to the Grand Line, it's the whole crew.
Okay, so that's interesting then. That because I was thinking, I'm like, all right, maybe at the end of this season, it'll end on them getting to the Grand Line, but I guess not. Not even at the end of this first
Haven't
season.
even-
Okay.
Nope.
No. All right. Well,
It'd be cool, but no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think any.
Well, it is cool that I did see something the other day. They already showed a picture of like the whole writers' room for
Oh, yeah?
season 2. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So they're already doing that again, I guess, which
they're
is
not on
great.
strike.
They're not, but it's like I
As long
guess
as the
I
actors
guess they can get it all done and then wait.
get it written,
to
and
get
then
the
hopefully by the
actors-
time
yeah,
it's
right.
all written, the actors are not striking anymore.
It is
Yep.
cool though. I was looking at the article a little bit, and they said they already have ideas. Well, obviously there's a lot of source material anyway, but just how they want to do even like a season 3 and
Oh, cool.
onward, which is
Cool,
great.
cool, cool,
So
cool.
I'm
I'm
glad they're
excited.
looking forward, and I'm hoping it's the same people because since they did this season so well, I'm hoping.
Mhm.
Yeah.
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 Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So next week we will cover 5 and 6,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
and and
Yeah. So
hopefully,
really 2 more weeks of this that we'll be
yeah.
doing.
So hopefully you guys are enjoying it as much as we are, but
Yeah, it's a
really
lot of fun.
enjoying this live action One Piece, and hopefully you enjoy these discussions and watching or listening, and we appreciate all you that do. If you'd like to support us, you can like and subscribe on YouTube, or give us a 5-star rating and follow us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. If you have feedback or just thoughts or whatnot that you want to send us, you can email us at feedback@screentimepod.com.
Give us a rating too on I was going to say also give us a comment on YouTube. I want to
Yeah.
see
Yeah.
I want to see
YouTube
someone,
comments.
even if it's just destroying Lucas for
For all
being
my
not a real One Piece fan. You
Hey,
can
I can
argue
go
if
back
he-
and watch everything.
You can
alright?
argue if he's a real One Piece fan or not.
Yeah. Blame me for
Yeah.
all the stuff I get wrong because I've seen at least 700 episodes.
Or,
Yeah, that's not enough, Lucas.
No, it's not because there's just like 1,200.
yep.
No, I'll get roasted for that because I think it's only like 170 or something.
Yeah, you gotta know the
170.
exact
I know. I
number
gotta
of
know the exact episode,
Yeah.
what the title is, yeah,
Mm.
how many crew members exactly there are.
Yeah.
Call yourself a fan.
Yeah.
I don't actually.
Name all the seasons.
All the story arcs. Go.
Go.
All the filler
Oh, yeah.
episode lists.
But yeah, leave a comment on YouTube.
Yeah.
YouTube comments
Yeah.
good too. If you'd like to follow any of us on Instagram, I'm at jyoungbar.
And I'm at Lucas Youngbar.
And I'm at Jared Youngbar.
And with that, we will talk to you guys next week.
All right. See ya.